Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's hitting hard in the sneaker community. Why are so many sneaker resellers going bankrupt? We've seen the sneaker market explode in recent years, with people making serious cash flipping Yeezys and Jordans. But now it seems like more and more people are struggling to keep their sneaker reselling businesses afloat. So what's really going on? Why are so many resellers going from raking in cash to facing financial ruin? Let's break down the top 10 reasons why sneaker resellers are going bankrupt. The first reason is simple: oversaturation. Think about it. When sneaker reselling first became popular, it was a relatively small, niche group of people. They knew the market, they knew what to look for, and they flipped shoes for big profits because they were ahead of the curve. But now, it seems like everyone's trying to get a piece of the pie. With so many resellers in the game, the market is flooded. It's harder than ever to stand out, find those steals, and actually make a profit when everyone and their grandma is trying to do the same thing. The days of easy money in the sneaker game? Yeah, they're long gone. Let's face it, sneaker culture is driven by hype, and hype is, by definition, fleeting. Not every shoe stays hot forever. Remember when everyone was going crazy for those Yeezy Red Octobers? People were paying thousands of dollars over retail, but now, not so much. A lot of resellers get stuck holding the bag, or should I say, the shoebox. They bought too many pairs of a once popular sneaker, thinking the hype would last forever. Now, they're stuck with inventory that just doesn't move, and they end up having to sell at a loss. Here's the thing. Big brands like Nike and Adidas, they're not stupid. They've caught on to the reselling game, and they're not too happy about losing those profits to resellers. So, what are they doing? They're fighting back by releasing more stock to meet demand. Think about it. When sneakers were super limited, the resale value skyrocketed. But when those same sneakers are more readily available, that resale value plummets. It's basic supply and demand, guys. More supply means lower prices, and that means resellers get squeezed. Now, you can't talk about the sneaker resale market without talking about the giants in the room, platforms like StockX and GOAT. These platforms have been a game changer, making it super easy for anyone to jump into the resale game. And while that's great for buyers, it's been tough on the little guys, the small-time resellers. These platforms take a cut of your sales, which eats into your already thin margins. Plus, they have the volume and the pricing strategies that make it really hard to compete. Look, we all know sneakers aren't cheap. But for resellers, it's even tougher. They're often shelling out hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars up front to buy these limited edition shoes. And the problem is, the profit margins aren't always what they seem. Sure, you might see a shoe reselling for double or triple retail, but then you've got to factor in all the costs, fees on those platforms, shipping costs, maybe even return shipping if a buyer isn't happy. And let's not forget about taxes. It all adds up, and suddenly those margins get razor thin. Here's a dirty little secret of the sneaker world. Release dates are about as reliable as a weather forecast in a hurricane. They're constantly changing, getting delayed, pushed back. And for a reseller, this uncertainty is a nightmare. Imagine this. You've got your entire business plan built around a big sneaker drop happening on a specific date. You've pre-ordered inventory, maybe even taken out a loan to cover the costs. Then, bam! The release gets pushed back a month, 2 months, who knows? Now you're stuck with all this capital tied up, inventory sitting there, and no way to make your money back. It's enough to give anyone an ulcer. Chapter 7: The Rise of the Fakes. This one's a biggie, guys. Counterfeit sneakers. The market is absolutely flooded with fakes, and it's becoming increasingly difficult to spot the difference. This is a huge problem for resellers. First off, buyers are getting more and more wary. They're hesitant to drop hundreds or thousands of dollars on a pair of shoes online because they don't want to get scammed. So it's harder to build trust and make those sales. Second, if a reseller accidentally buys a fake, thinking it's real, and then sells it to a customer, that's a disaster waiting to happen. It can completely destroy your reputation and ruin your business. We all know that fashion is fickle. What's trendy today might be old news tomorrow, and the sneaker world is no exception. A certain silhouette might be all the rage one season, but then, just as quickly, it falls out of favor. The problem is, some resellers get stuck in their ways. They're so focused on what was hot last year that they don't adapt to these changing trends. And guess what? They end up with warehouses full of unsellable inventory. Those once coveted sneakers are now just boxes of yesterday's news, and no one wants to buy them. Remember how I said those big brands are catching on to the reseller game? Well, they're not just sitting back and taking it. They're fighting back, and they're getting smarter about it. Brands like Nike and Adidas are implementing stricter resale policies, making it harder for resellers to operate. They're limiting how many pairs of a certain shoe you can buy, banning accounts that they suspect are reselling, and even straight up canceling orders if they think you're not a genuine customer. This makes it way harder for resellers to get their hands on enough inventory to actually make a living. And finally, we can't talk about why businesses fail without talking about the big E, the economy. We're living in uncertain times, guys. Inflation is soaring, the cost of living is skyrocketing, and people are feeling the pinch. And you know what? When people start tightening their belts, luxury items like expensive sneakers are often the first things to go. Discretionary spending takes a hit, and resellers feel the pain. If people aren't buying, it doesn't matter how many Yeezys you've got stockpiled. You're stuck with inventory you can't move, and that's a recipe for disaster. So, there you have it. 10 reasons why sneaker resellers are going bankrupt. From oversaturation and declining hype to increased competition and changing economic conditions, it's clear the sneaker game isn't what it used to be. It's a lot more challenging, a lot riskier, and frankly, a lot less profitable than it once was. So, if you're thinking about getting into the resale game, or you're already in it, be sure to keep these challenges in mind. Do your research, understand the market, and don't expect to get rich quick. The days of easy money in sneakers are long gone. But hey, maybe with the right strategy, the right knowledge, and a little bit of luck, you can still make it work. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more insights on business and finance. Until next time, stay savvy.